Cecilia or one of the other editors to join us. But we'll
Yay!
See. Yay!
Hello, everybody.
Woo-hoo! All right. Yay! So everyone, welcome to another Storytellers Happy Hour. I mean, honestly, it's just basically me and Teehee acting stupid. So, but we're good at it. So,
Telling tall tales and crazy stories.
right? Exactly. So if you guys have any like suggestions or whatever, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and we will be more than happy to respond. And I don't know why, but my X isn't working right, so I'm taking it off. I think all the others are fine. Yeah, all the others are fine. Okay, sweet. Cool. Yay! And I can only have one glass of wine, although I'm very good at big because I'm going out to dinner tonight and I have to actually drive. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm really tired. I had a friend of mine had a birthday party last night, which is weird to have a birthday party in the middle of the week. But yeah, I ended up being up really late. So I'm like, but I'm still here. Oh, excuse me, and drinking beer, obviously. One thing we should let people, for anybody who's new watching, so the Storytellers Happy Hour is impromptu storytelling where we will come up with a prompt and just like riff and create a story. Most of the time, they're true stories about our wacky, wild lives. In the past, we used to draw prompts from a bag, and then I had a deck of cards. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's over there. I had a deck of cards from the Moth, the storytelling competition, but we went through all of those already. And the only ones that are left are like the really traumatic ones that are like designed to tell sad stories. And I don't want to do that.
We don't need that. No. No. We could tell party stories. You want to tell birthday party stories?
Yeah. Port of Vallarta stories, all sorts of the crazy ones. Should I? So what happened last time in between the last Storytellers Happy Hour and this one was actually like that huge cartel attack, which I could also talk about.
All right. I'm down with whatever you want to.
Yeah. It was like, I think the U.S. made a lot of like hooping and hollering and made a big deal out of the news of the cartel attack, even though it sounds terrible. But it's actually like, it was not that bad. It was scary in the moment, but it was not that bad.
Got it.
They mostly just like burned down a lot of the convenience stores.
Wow.
So like, imagine if like almost all the 7-Elevens in your town got burned down in one day. That's pretty much what happened.
Got it. Still, that's not fun. Like
it was not fun at all.
No. Well, and along those lines, we actually had, and we continue to have instances where, for whatever reason, ICE is really active in, so I live in Los Angeles, in the University City area. So you've got a blend of locals and college students and a lot of tourists and stuff. And we actually literally had it. There was a weekend where, I just basically hid in my house because we even had a council member send out a text to all the locals saying, you may not want to go outside, because they had reports of ICE not only being active, but they were literally going to people's doors and like knocking on the doors and demanding to be let inside of people's homes. And you could actually hear,
which is totally unconstitutional.
Well, what? You want to have a constitution? Yeah. It was Teehee, for real, they were so loud. Like, I live off of two major highways, and you could hear the police just like constantly up and down the freeway, and even helicopters. And it continues. Like, even this morning, we had a helicopter that was just like completely buzzing. They usually buzz the freeway and like the colleges, and you can even hear them
Mm,
like with their microphones, right? Like demanding various things. So usually it lasts like a couple of hours and then it dies off. But yeah, so that for me, it wasn't a burn down of it's not a burn down of convenience stores, but it's definitely not pleasant.
yeah, I'm glad I left the U.S. before all the ICE nonsense happened because
Mm,
I would be like afraid. Like, so during the cartel attack, we were told to stay at home, which we did, and it was fine. You know, I have like a window, so I can look out and see a view of the city, and there's like lots of different pockets of smoke.
mm,
And like every once in a while, it would seem like it would die down, and then there'd be a new fire, and we're like,
mm.
oh, okay. Um, my boyfriend's family was visiting from another part of Mexico, so
Oh,
I had to shelter in place with like future in-laws for like 2 days,
oh boy.
um, which was very
And
interesting. They don't speak English. I speak okay Spanish, but it ended up being fine. We basically had like a movie marathon the whole time and drank a lot of tequila. Thankfully, because we had family coming in to visit, we went grocery shopping and just like stocked up on a bunch of food right before they came. They came the day before all this happened. So we were like fine on food. There's a ton of people I know because we had to shelter in place for 2 days. One day
mhm,
was the attack, and the next day was the cleanup. Like the military came and like boarded up all the burned down convenience stores, and they were setting cars and stuff on fire in the major intersections, like cleared the cars out and whatnot. So we
mhm,
had to stay shelter in place for 2 days.
mhm.
It was kind of boring sometimes. I was like, man, the worst thing about a cartel attack is like how boring it is, and like how quickly you can watch most of the stuff you want to watch on Netflix, and then
Mm.
you're like, oh yeah, the cartel attack is still happening. Uh,
Like, now what do I do? I'm so bored.
yeah, we did watch. I remember we watched Jurassic Park Rebirth during the worst parts of the cartel attack. So like when you could hear gunfire, which they weren't shooting at people, they were shooting up in the air.
Mhm,
Um, well, I shouldn't say they weren't shooting at people. They were definitely shooting at the government.
mm,
But this is why everyone was staying inside because like both sides were really clear that civilians were not targeted, that this was an issue
mhm,
between a cartel and a government.
mhm.
But you could hear gunshots, you could see all these like fires and occasional explosions. And something about all that chaos made Jurassic Park Rebirth like a really pleasant watch. We were like,
Oh,
oh,
neat.
dinosaurs and carnage and stuff like that. Well, like cartel explosions are going off in your neighborhood.
Got it. Oh my God. That's wild.
Yeah, yeah. Puerto Vallarta gets pretty crazy. I was also so my mom like I called my mom during it and was like, "Hey, this is what's happening.
Mm,
Don't freak out." And then when it got
mm.
on the news, she freaked out a whole bunch. Like when the U.S. news reported it, and I was like, "Nothing has changed. In
Got it.
fact, it's like over." You know,
Mm.
like military helicopters are patrolling the air and making sure they're all gone, and we just have to stay inside one more day. Um,
It's That's so normal. It's
so that
almost
was really
always got
crazy.
that delay. You know what I mean? Like when the news is reporting it, it's always got a couple of hours delay. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
It was a crazy time. Oh, I bring this up to say that like just crazy things happen in Puerto Vallarta.
mm,
A couple of weeks before that, my neighborhood specifically was on lockdown for like 3 or 4 hours because some guy that lives in a like condo building that's like 3 blocks from my house
Mhm.
had a pet tiger, an adult tiger in his
Oh my.
apartment, and the tiger got loose.
Oh my.
And animal control had to come through the neighborhood and find the tiger and sedate the tiger. And then they took the tiger to the zoo. They didn't give it back to this guy.
Oh, got it. Well, that
But I
makes
remember I
sense.
woke up and you could hear the sirens be like, "Stay inside. There is a tiger,"
Okay. The
which
weirdest
is
thing I think I were you like, I don't care, like it's he's basically a domesticated animal at this point.
I don't know. I don't know. I personally, I don't think people should have tigers as pets, and I don't want a tiger as a pet in my neighborhood if they can
Mhm.
escape and get out, because tigers have to roam for food. So if it broke out of its apartment, it's probably
Oh,
because it was hungry.
yeah. That's
And
fair.
like,
Yeah. Got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
In college,
No,
I had a roommate that had a 12-foot python, and pythons
really?
are also similar. So like when the python was hungry, it would like roam around a lot, and that's how we could tell like, oh, it's time to feed
No, 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 no,
him.
no. The
Yeah.
weirdest thing I've
So
had here in LA was there was a wolf. I have no idea where the wolf came from, but there was a wolf that was roaming the streets, and someone was staying with us and she got really freaked out. She was like, "Oh my god, is it going to eat me?" I'm like, "It doesn't give a shit about you. Like it really doesn't." Like you are not on its radar, like it doesn't even know that you're alive. Like don't even, like it's not a thing. And then and what was funny is like after that happened, like the following weekend I went, like I take the train a lot from LA to San Diego, or like Santa Barbara, and I went to the train station and they had put up this huge, incredible display about all of the wild animals that exist in Los Angeles that you could find roaming the streets, and one of them was a wolf. And it said the same thing.
whoa.
It was like wolves don't care about you, just don't fuck with it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a Facebook group of people who are trying to like mobilize to return the tiger to this guy's apartment. And I
What?
got invited to it. It was a private Facebook group. And I was like, no, like, I don't want a tiger in my neighborhood. Like,
Well,
I think
and
the tiger is
especially
better off in the zoo.
and especially if the tiger was like, dude, I'm out, right? Like that means that in some capacity it was not happy in its existence. Like, so let him be,
Yep.
right? Like,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. And they need lots of space, which is like why he's better off at the zoo is they have like a huge enclosure for him to like walk around and have a bunch of space. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I just know it's an adult. So it's
Got it.
huge. Um, but like I'm like, it's probably better for the tiger to be in the zoo than to be in like a 2-bedroom condo.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm better in a zoo than a
Like,
2-bedroom condo. Like, F that. Like, because he knows he's going to get fed, or she, right? Like, the zoo's going to feed
mm,
you. It's going to make sure you've got health care. Like, it's going to make sure you're,
yeah,
like, so why would you want to do that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But,
it did not make any sense. I did not join that Facebook group, and I was like
you're like, I'm
low key angry that someone even invited me into it.
out.
But so based on the recent calamities in both of our cities, I did come up with this prompt, but I haven't found a story for it yet. But so I was thinking about the prompt of telling a story about a time that you've been stranded somewhere.
Oh. I do. I mean, I have a couple. Wow, that sounded awful, but I do. I do.
I have a couple too. You want to go first?
I can. All right, I'll give you the drama one, and then I'll give you one that I'll try and come up with one that's not drama. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, okay. So when I was a kid, my parents got divorced when I was super, super young. Like, I think I was like maybe 6 or 7, if that. And it was because my father worked the overnight shift at a radio station, and for whatever reason, my mother was convinced that he was having an affair. And to his point, he was like, how the fuck am I having an affair when I'm on the actual radio? Like, I am literally on radio overnight. Like, what am I doing? Putting myself on mute, getting my nookie on, and then, like, getting back on. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? He's like, I'm so effing tired by doing the overnight shift. Like, when he got home, he was like, I'm not awake enough to get any kind of nookie going, right? Like, so anyway, so they got divorced because she was just absolutely convinced that he was, having an affair. And and for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, my mother had actual paranoid schizophrenia, as indicative of what I just said. So, and I think she had a really hard time with being a parent. Like, I don't think I think the combination of having paranoid schizophrenia and just she also didn't have a very great childhood. I'll just leave it there. Like, at one point, my grandfather actually said to me, I don't like anybody under the age of 16. And I went, sweet, I'm out. like, if you don't want me around, I don't want to be around. So bye.
Truth.
But so I think I was like 12, 13, something like that. And my mother, so my mother actually had she was a social worker, but like she would run like whole social work programs. Excuse me. And she was supposed to be going to like a over the weekend, like all the people who are in charge, you go and figure out what are your goals going to be for the next year, all that kind of thing, right? So we had a dear family friend who she had 2 sons, Kofi and Kojo, who I basically grew up with. And so my mom left me with a family friend, and she was supposed to come back after the weekend. And like, so Sunday passes, she doesn't show up. Monday passes, she doesn't show up. Tuesday passes, she doesn't show up. And I'll be honest, like, it wasn't a very pleasant family environment, I get, to put it politely. So I was like, sweet, I'll just stay here forever. Right now, mind you, I'm 12 years old, so duh. And Sandy just like turned to me at one point and goes, okay, Lisa, I love you, but I can't keep you. You're not my child. Like, like, your mom was supposed to come back Sunday night, like at like 4:00 or whatever, right? So I have to call your dad. And my father had been like, he had no idea any of this was going on, right? So it actually took a couple of days for Sandy to get a hold of my dad, because my father grew up, to back up a little bit. So my father grew up during an age where he believed that all children should be raised by their mother, not by their father, because that's what they were taught, right? So he had no idea that there was anything that he should be concerned about. All he knew was, that it must be like, that something weird's going on, right? So when Sandy finally got a hold of him, he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll come and get her," So so that was a time when I was actually basically abandoned, and I was like, woo, game on. Because Kofi and Kojo and I, we would just like, we were kids, so we would just go around and act stupid. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, this is dope. Let's do this forever. And then my dad came and got me, and he was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that this means I have to move back in with you, which is sweet because my father was actually a great father. But yeah, so. And KP says, hey, I just stumbled on you. Hey, love, good to see you. If you've got any like prompts that you want to like toss out there in the comments, just do it because we're all down. So just saying. So that was mine. Go.
Yeah, I've been stranded. That reminded me. I've actually been stranded a lot as a child. I don't know, like
Me too.
as a child and as a teenager.
Yep. Me too.
And I don't know what it is about why I was stranded so much. Because like my mom had 5 kids, which is a lot of kids, and she was a single mom. So I guess sometimes she just didn't do a full head count and would like go home from the mall and like someone's still there.
Oops,
that happens a lot. And I'm like, Mom, how do you not know that like you're missing
one?
a child? Like but it got worse as a teenager because we had, the beginning of the internet was dial-up internet. And with like 5 kids, my oldest 2 sisters, by the time the internet was around, they were like out of high school and in college. But the rest of us were all like teenagers. So we were always online all the time with one computer in the living room, right? And so like with dial-up, you can't call if someone's on the internet. So I would be like at work, or I'm like supposed to get off of school or something, or I stayed late for like some extracurricular thing and someone was supposed to pick me up. But somebody's at home on the internet and everybody has forgotten. So I totally forgot that like, yeah, I was like, I've actually been stranded a lot. But I was thinking of 2 different stories. I guess they're both kind of funny. But the first one was the first time I went to Seattle was on a vacation with like my best friend since I was 18. And neither one of us had been to Seattle. It was in May. The weather was gorgeous because Seattle is like rainy and overcast all the time. And we went like the 1 week of the summer. Oh yeah. I like it in the summer. I do not like it any other time. It has to be the summer.
Oh my God, I love it. So Katie says it has a lot to do with age. We didn't have internet when my parents forgot me. That's true.
And like I was a loud child, so I was like, how did you forget that I was here? Like they must have just been like, peace and quiet, and like gone about their business.
Like
But so this one was kind of a crazy story. So I have my vacation in Seattle with my best friend, and the vacation's over. We go to the Seattle airport. Our flights are about like an hour within each other. So we get through TSA, blah, blah, blah. I make it to my terminal. My flight is delayed 30 minutes. His is on time. He flies away. The 30 minutes turns into delayed 2.5 hours, delayed another hour, and then delayed 18 hours. And mind you, like we've checked out of the hotel. I'm like, I think I was like 24. So like broke, right? Like barely could afford this vacation. We didn't know anyone in Seattle. So we were just like staying in like a really shitty, crappy hotel, which we like finished the reservation. Airports don't have lockers. I have like a week's worth of clothes. And I'm like, what do I do? And other people who are waiting on this plane were like, oh, I'm just going to go back into the city you know, blah, 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 and like putts around. And I'm like, but I have a suitcase. I have like 2 suitcases. I can't just like go all these places.
Right?
So I was stuck in the airport, and then got on dating apps because I was bored and I was like trying to pass the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude who lived near the airport, or no, he didn't live near the airport. He worked near the airport because it was during the day. And he wanted to like, you know, fool around and everything. So he's like, come over. And I'm like, is it fine if I have luggage? He's like, it's totally fine. And so I go to the address he gives me, which is an office, not an apartment or a living place, but like an office. We do all like the fooling around or whatever. And then once like all the clothes are back on, I'm like about to leave, like one of his clients comes in and he like treats me like the secretary person, but like I know, and I have like apps on my phone for like the flight, like I know the flight's not going anywhere and I don't want to be back at the airport. So for like 2 hours I just like sat there and pretend to be a secretary for this guy I just hooked up with to take a very important contract construction meeting.
Well, you know, hey,
because it was better than sitting at the airport.
Well, yeah. No, that honestly, I was at the San Francisco Writers Conference like about a month ago, and that was when flights were just getting canceled out of nowhere, right? And so I have an Amex card, so I'm able to get into the Amex lounges where they give you like free food and booze. So I was like, sweet, I have like a 3-hour delay. I don't care. I'm just going to go hang. So I end up hanging at the bar, right? And I get like, you know, I get my food on, I get my booze on, and I end up start talking to a couple people. And there's one guy, he had been traveling for work, and he was coming back from Dubai, which in a previous life, I had worked for a consulting company and I had a team that reported to me in Dubai. So I knew what he was talking about in terms of like, you know, the, like what that's like and all that. Well, it turned out his flight not only did it get canceled, it kept getting canceled. So he kept trying to get home to, I think it was New York. And he was basically stuck in the San Francisco American Express lounge because it was like every time he thought his flight was going to happen, they would cancel it, but they would cancel it at the last minute. So that would leave him like just like stranded in the lounge. So I was like, dude, you don't have to do anything. Like, you should just like get your drink on, get your food on, like have a good time. Like, I wouldn't stress it because you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do about it, right?
I thought this thing that happened to me in Seattle was the craziest because it was a double-digit hour delay. Oh, and I was like, at like 12 or 13 hours, is that even a delay or is that a cancellation? Like, how can a flight get delayed that long?
That's got to be a cancellation. That can't be a delay, right?
Yeah, it was really, really fucking weird. And I remember talking to like the airline people and they were not very helpful. But I was like, can it really be delayed this long? And they're like, it's really delayed this long. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know. It was a wild 20 some hours. The other time that I've been stranded was with my family. We were on a road trip from Iowa to Atlanta. And when we're in Tennessee, you know, about halfway through that trip, we're driving. The engine of the car sets on fire while we're on the interstate.
Oh my
and the hood just like lifts up, right? And yeah, we're all shocked. We're like, what the hell? Ah! So we pull over. There's just all this like fire coming from the engine. And so we're just stuck, right? We have like everybody has 2 weeks worth of luggage in this car. The only thing that's on fire is the engine, thank goodness. But obviously the car can't drive. and we're like on the interstate. So we waited for the fire to go down, because once you turn the car off, it kind of like calmed down. We pushed the car off the off ramp and into like a street, rural Tennessee.
Wow.
And we're like, what do we do? What do we do? So we just had to walk. It took like an hour and a half. And I walk pretty fast, but my family walks kind of slow. But we walked an hour and a half until we found a town. And we were like, oh, thank God, a town. And we're like thirsty and everything. And like one of the things we see is a mechanic shop. And so like we all are like walking, and my mom like talks first, and she's like, hey, these are my kids, blah, blah. Our car like broke down on the interstate, and we need to, and the mechanic cuts her off and is like, we don't serve your kind here. And we're like, what?
Oh
like,
my. Oh, no.
It's like, I wouldn't be here after sunset. We're like, Jesus Christ. Now we're in a horror movie.
Right?
But it was the middle of the day. Yeah. It was in the middle of the day. So we ended up going to, I think, McDonald's and ate some food. And then went someplace else, not a mall, but like a department store, because they had a phone book, because this is like the 90s. And we figured out what town we were in. There was another town over. And so my mom was like calling mechanic shops, like explaining the whole situation, trying to find like an African-American like car mechanic. And we finally did. And when we told them the town, I can't even remember the name of this town. But we told the black mechanic where we were, and that guy dropped everything and picked us up.
Oh, goddamn. Wow.
Free of charge. It was like, you do not need to be there. Come over here.
Oh, wow. Now, okay. Now, sorry. Keep going.
No, that's the end of the story. Oh, no. We figured out that the transmission on the car broke somehow, and that's what caused this fire, which sucks because that means like the car is totaled, right? There's no way to fix the car. So what did we do? Oh yeah, my mom had to rent a car. We rented a car, went to Atlanta. I don't think you're supposed to take rental cars across state lines, but my mom was like, fuck it, I don't care. Drove the rental car all the way back to Iowa, and then we had to get a new car.
Got it. Wow.
But it was not the fun summer vacation we thought we were going to have.
All right. That's another great prompt. Inadvertent, like last minute, you got to buy a car. Situations. And a cat butt. So, all right. Last minute, you have to buy a car situations. So, growing up, we always had like the Ford Pinto Escort, like the cheapest of the cheap, whatever, that whatever will get you from point A to point B, right? And Ford Escort Pony, that's it, right? That was like the cheapest of the cheap that you could get. And I don't remember what happened, but something happened where our car, it literally broke down on the freeway, where when the mechanics showed up, they were like, you just don't even need to even try. Like, this is done. There's no point. Yeah. So even though we had no money, it forced my dad to buy a new car. So what they did is they walked us around to all the sample cars. And there was this sports car that they had. It was some crazy like 60% off, because it was originally a floor model that like everyone and their mother would drive, right? Like to try it out. And so my dad was like, it was actually the cheapest one on the lot that they had at the time. So we ended up getting this like ruby red sports car. as our family car because our Ford Escort pony had broken down. And I was like the fancy of fans, right? Like I was like, woo, check us out. We're the shit, you know. And the only reason we even had it was because he got like a crazy deal on it. Because like I came up with my father having Fords, you know, and like so, and that dealership happened to know us, so they were like, yeah, we'll give you this discount, this trade in, you know, blah blah blah. And yeah, it was great. And all my friends thought I was like this fancy ass because like, oh, look at her driving this like, you know, fancy ruby red sports car. And I was like, yeah, I am. Check me out. Check us out. We're the shit. And in reality, it was just called, this was the cheapest goddamn car on the lot. And we had no choice. So
So the only car that I had for any amount of time, because like when I was a teenager, I saved up money to buy a car and got in an accident like a week later and the car was totaled. So like I didn't feel any connection to that car. My second car was my mom's old car, and she helped rebuild with a friend of hers, rebuilt the engine because the car had engine problems. So replaced the engine, gave it to me. That car was a Buick. It was a tank. It was huge. Here's this cattail. Because this cat won't leave me alone. And I loved that car. I called it like the Batmobile or like whatever the mobile based on the situation. That was like the car I felt very connected to. But because the engine was brand new, it was a really weird car. So like all the electrical just did not work. So like the radio didn't work, the clock didn't work, but also the speedometer and the odometer didn't work. And which was kind of cool that the radio doesn't work because the car makes a certain sound, or this Buick would make a sound when you were running out of gas, and that sound would let you know like you have about 10 minutes to get gas or the car's going to break down. So that was helpful. But the speedometer did not work. It was always just zero. So I never had any idea how fast I was going. I was 18 driving from Atlanta to Orlando because my family lived in Atlanta. I lived in Orlando at the time. And I was like in a rush because I think I was trying to get back before a thunderstorm or a hurricane. So I could like, you know, batten down the hatches in the apartment instead of being on that road. And not having a odometer, I was flying and like did not get in any sort of wreck or anything because there wasn't a lot of cars on the road. I had enough time to like, but I was just like pedal to the metal and got pulled over by a cop. And the cop was like terrified of me and really upset at me. And he was like, do you know how fast you're going? And I was like, the odometer on my car doesn't work. And he's like, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And he looked at it. And I was like, how fast was I going? And I remember this. He did not tell me, but he gave me a speeding ticket that was like $500. So I think I was going like the fastest this car could go, probably like 110 miles an hour or something. And it was in Lake County, Florida, because I wasn't all the way in Orlando. So I was also stranded because the cop would not let me get back in the car and would not leave me. So I had to like use his cell phone to call my family from Atlanta. My brother had to drive down, pick me up, and then take me all the way back to Orlando. This cat is so bad.
It's hilarious actually. Because all of a sudden there's like this cat butt.
He was like this all day at work today. Also, I need to buy one of those cat decoy laptops. So he has one laptop to play with while I'm on the laptop.
He just wants your attention. That's all.
Yeah. Which I give him a lot of fucking attention. But they said cats are supposed to be independent. This cat is not independent.
No, no. All right. Now, what is the wildest birthday party you have? It doesn't have to be the wildest, but what was the last like memorable birthday party that you've attended or participated in?
So last night at my friend Juan's birthday, there was a mechanical bull that got set up in the parking lot. And by
Really?
parking lot, I mean there's like three parking spaces.
Mm.
And that's the parking lot. So this mechanical bull and its mat took up everything. No cars could park anywhere.
Oh, wow.
And that was really fun.
Mm.
And this is at like this like Mexican bear bar. So like half the people there are Mexican, half of them are gringos. A lot of the clientele at this bar, like the bartender, it was his birthday. A lot of the clientele are like these older white guys.
Mm-hmm.
So watching them ride a mechanical bull was hysterical.
I bet.
And the operator is not trying to like be really rough with them, but they're still freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god!" I've done the mechanical bull in Texas several times when I lived in Texas, so I'm actually pretty good at it. And when I got on there, I made it like a whole minute, and then the operator started like really whisking me around to try to get me to fall. But at first, when he was just like play doing it, I was like, "Oh, this is nothing." But these old people were like, one, it took them forever to get on the bull, and, and then like any kind of jerk, they're like, ah.
Now, I wouldn't say this is the wildest birthday I've ever participated in, but let's just say it was memorable. So this past weekend, I went to a writers' conference. Like it's a huge writers' conference in the literary circles, and like we had a booth, blah blah blah, and I was hanging with a couple friends of mine who I completely adore, right? And it was one of my friends, Natalie's birthday, right? So I was like, all right, what do you want to do for your birthday? And she was like, oh, let's just go out to eat or whatever and maybe get some booze, like no big deal. So I'm all like, all right. So we go, this is in Baltimore. And there's this one restaurant that's known for like their crab cakes, right? So we go to the restaurant, and her thing is Tito's martinis. Now, mind you, I normally drink gin martinis, and I usually drink, depending on what I'm eating, either red wine or white wine, right? Like whatever is gonna complement it the most. So I'm not a big vodka drinker, right? It's just because it's not, there's no real reason. It's just, that's just sort of how it works out, right? So we go out, and I'm like, look, I'll cover all this because it's your birthday. Like, you don't need to, whatever. So we get Tito's martinis, and the first round is dry. Like it's meaning it's pure vodka, basically. It's pure Tito's. And that shit went down so damn smooth. Oh my God. I was like, this is going to be deadly. I can tell, right? And she's like, no, that's why we're drinking Tito's, because Tito's, like, you don't get a hangover after Tito's. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm down with no hangover. Like, yeah. So we're like, we have dinner and we're like hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And then we go to a bar near our hotel, right? Because we're all staying at the same hotel. And we sit down, and all I remember is she ordered dirty Tito's. And I was like, she's doing that because she knows she needs to slow down, right? And so like I'm doing the same thing. And all I remember is because it was a conference, it was full of all these like writers and editors and people in publishing and people at the conference and like all these like famous people and shit. And I'm all like, I don't care, right? Like, poo. And I remember we have this other friend. She stayed with us until I want to say it was like 11:30, something like that. And she was like, all right, I need to walk. Like I'm out. Right. And we were both like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. And at one point, and so we're talking to like all these people who were in there, and there's like, so she was there because she has a publicity company that specializes in book publicity, right? And so she was on a panel, and so all these people are coming up to her, and they're like, "Oh my god, I saw you in your panel. That was fabulous," and all this stuff, right? So they're asking her like tips and all that. And meantime, we're doing like fucking downing Tito's like we've never seen booze before. And I'm there because I'm representing Running Wild and Rise and all of our imprints. And so people are coming up to me like, oh my god, I love what you guys do, I can't believe you did blah blah blah, and all this stuff, right? Because usually when people come up to me, it's more about, it's the stuff that's not that we're definitely pushing boundaries, right, to put it politely. So, and like the gentleman who wrote No Fucks Given, like he actually did a book signing at the conference. So they were like, oh my god, I love what you guys did with whatever. And I'm all like, yeah, okay. And then usually what ends up happening is a bunch of people who they wrote something and they're looking for somebody to actually publish it. They come up to me thinking like that they're going to like talk me into publishing them. And I'm always like, no, you need to go to Submittable. You need to just submit it. Like, that's it, right? Because there's a team of us. This is not called The Lisa Show starring Lisa, special guesting Lisa. No. There's at least 6 of us who go through like everything, and pick it out. So are these, all these guys who are like trying to talk us up. And I'm thinking, you do know I'm old enough to be your mama, right? Like, and Natalie may not be old enough to be your mama, but she's getting close, right? Like she's, but I know I'm old enough to be your mama. So you need to not be trying to talk me up, because And then like, I want to say, like, they were talking to us, and I'm all just like, look, I'm just having a good time. I want to make sure my friend has a good time. That's all I care about, right? And out of nowhere comes the like, are you married? And I'm like, what do you think this is? Are you not paying attention? Right? And then they're like, oh, okay. And then it's like, and then it would be like a half hour later, are you sure you're married? I'm like, I know I'm married. And my husband knows I'm married. So you need to stop asking questions like that. And you need to get on with your life. Right? Like, and I like get 5 seconds away from saying, I could be your mama. Like, this is, yeah, like, you need to stop trying to talk me up. I could be your mama. Stop it. So they like, now this part I don't remember. I'm going to own this, right? Because there came a point I was like, I need to switch to beer, because if I keep up with, even if it's dirty Tito's, I won't be able to walk. So I need to switch to beer. So at some point I switched to beer, and we're talking to some, I don't even know who, right? And like whoever comes over to us to talk to us about whatever. And 2 a.m. hits, and they're like, all right, you people need to go, right? Because we have to close. And we're both like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I think the bartenders and 1 or 2 guys who were there actually walked us back to our hotel. And I don't know what happened, because I really don't remember this. All I know is I just kept thinking, I am so fucking tired. because my hiney is normally in bed between 9 and 10 p.m. So the fact that I even made it to 2 is beyond a miracle, right? So all I know is when I woke up at like, it was like 8 or 9 a.m., because you know how your body goes on like autopilot, like, oh, I normally wake up at 4 or 5. So yeah, well, I have to get something in, you know what I mean? Like, so we both wake
Mm-hmm.
up and she says to me, so can you believe those guys? And I just stared at her because for real, I did not remember shit. Like, all I knew was we got our Tito's on. We hung out, we acted stupid. And I mean, I remember saying to people a couple of times, like, when they were like, are you married? And I remember saying, like, duh, like, are you not paying attention? Because that's my like go-to. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember after that, right? So she was just like, I think they got pissed off at us because of whatever, whatever, whatever. And she's like talking to me like, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm thinking, nope. Because I was just like, I just wanted to make sure she had a fabulous birthday and we had a good time. And I wanted to get back to our hotel and just go to bed. Like, that's all I cared about, right? Like, boom. So yeah, it was pretty funny. She just kept saying, like, I can't believe how pissed off he got. And I was like, he got pissed off? And by the way, who's he? Because I clearly don't care enough to even remember who he is.
This does remind me. So my friend Lesson that I went on a vacation with in Seattle and got stranded, he came to Georgia Southern when I was in college for my birthday. It was a whole birthday weekend thing.
Oh, cool.
And it's my birthday's in September, so it's still kind of warm in South Georgia. So he got into town, we started pre-gaming beer right away. We were supposed to go to I blew off all my classes. We went to a pool party,
Okay.
which is important to remember. We
Okay.
went to a pool party, so we're drinking. That's a Friday, and then transition from the pool party, get back to my dorm, change clothes, go out to another party. It's the beginning of the semester. There's just like parties all weekend, and we're like hopping from party to party to party. Wake up in the morning on Saturday, and we're like start drinking right away. Like also have food. We were like drunk on campus, going to the cafeteria to get food, but then continue to drink. Somebody was having like a barbecue at their like off-campus apartment. So we're like doing that. And of course, everybody's smoking weed. So me and Lesson are like smoking a bunch of weed. And then we hear about this house party off campus. So then we go to that. And at that point, Lesson's like, oh my God, like we're in the middle of a conversation and his face completely changes. And he's like, oh my God, where are we? What's happening? Well, and I was like, we're at so-and-so's party, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no. I blacked out in a pool. And I was like, oh, that was yesterday.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that poor thing.
Completely blacked out, having full conversations and completely lucid for like nearly 24 hours, just not recording. And I was like, You don't remember this? You don't remember this conversation? You don't remember meeting these people? And he's like, no, I remember us in a pool joking about some TV show and then taking shots, like 3 or 4 shots in a row. And that's when I blacked out. And then he comes to the next evening.
Wow. All right, that's impressive.
Yeah. I know. And I was like, we were just drinking like from the moment we fell asleep to the moment we woke up. It's like another beer. Like that has to be the only way that I think you could keep a blackout going for that long. At least I hope.
Because in my head, it's like when we got up, I thought, I think I need pancakes and some like crisp bacon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though I wasn't hungry at all, like I was so like not all I knew is I would have to eat at some point, but I was like, all I just want water, you know, like I'm good.
We should maybe for the next time we should do hangover stories because I like to think that there are different kinds of hangovers. You
Oh
have like a
yeah.
stomach hangover, or you have like a headache hangover, or like a head hangover, or like a nervous system hangover.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. We should do that. Yeah, we'll do hangover stories.
We'll do that
Mhm.
next month. Hangover
Yeah.
stories. Oh Jesus Christ. Because
Yeah.
I guess just a preview. I'm the kind of person that like feels like I deserve the hangover for all the drinking. So I would just like suffer through it when people are like, try this or try that. And I'm like, no, like I deserve this pain because I overdid it.
Oh, hell's no.
Which is bad, bro.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't want a hangover, so I figure out like what combo can I have that I can just have a nice high off of the, you know, and like that like nice like nervous system calm, and then I wake up the next morning and I feel fine. Like I spent years figuring that shit out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think partly is because I have often worked an entire work shift hungover that like I've just
Mm,
like trained myself to accept it as like part of life. Okay, I'm really excited for next month.
got it. No, okay, I could see that. Yeah, I could totally see that. So, all right. So we only have four
I've done
minutes
a
left.
lot of things hungover.
Oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
No, no, no. I mean, well, and you get to learn like what booze can you do and what can't you do, you know, like where it's like, well, I can do this and I'll be fine, but I can't do this because if I do this, like there's, oh, what's the Christmas, liqueur? Um, like Irish
Schnapps?
cream or yeah, either
Oh,
schnapps.
yeah.
Like I know I have to have some kind of bread product if I've got like Irish cream going on, because if I don't, it's like my body can't. I don't think it's that it can't absorb the alcohol, it can't absorb the sugar, because I don't normally have a lot of sugar, you know what I mean? So
And it's the sugar that makes your hangover worse. That's like the biggest prognosticator of how bad your hangover is going to be is how
oh
much
yeah,
sugar is in what you're drinking.
yeah, exactly. So it's like figuring out
Yeah.
like I can do like martinis and wine with dinner, and I'm usually fine the next day, but I can't do like I don't I'm not big on mixed drinks unless it's like natural, like unless it's like orange juice or like it's something natural, like it's not like cane sugar, you know what I mean? Like cuz then it's like your body goes ah.
Yeah. I mean, I like gin cocktails, but I am 90% of the time a beer drinker because of the hangovers, because I know what to expect from a beer hangover if I overdo it. And the thing
Well,
with
that's
beer is like the easiest thing to do is to eat right before you go to bed.
oh yeah, exactly.
So
Now
really easy. Just put some.
this means the next time your
Mm.
ass is in LA, we're going to get our Tito's on, and I'm gonna make sure we
Oh
have some
God.
kind of like, and I'll see if Natalie can come with us, can join us, and then we're gonna have to get like, it'll have to be like burritos or like burgers or something that to get our Tito's on so that we don't die, you know, just to because she's in Santa Monica, so I mean we could like it like yeah we're gonna bring it on, so okay,
Yeah.
and with that,
I'm
go ahead.
I'm excited. This is also the first time that we've picked out a prompt a month in advance. So we actually have time to like marinate. and think about hangover stories. Although, like, at
You
least
know, I'm not
7
going to
just
do
came
that.
to mind.
You know, it'll be like the second we're actually in the fucking live stream. That's when I'll be like, oh yeah, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's not gonna be before. No, you know that. Mm-mm. All right, and with
Yeah.
that, as
Oh,
always, Teehee, we have had a fabulous time. Anyone who's watching this after, during, whatever, guys, whatever you want, just put your requested prompts into the comment section, and we will totally we'll bring it next time. So with that, thank you guys. Thank you, Teehee. As always, we will have another fabulous happy hour.